All right, so I kind of have this obsession with slides. I always am trying to find the most comfortable pair for myself. And so I've had a little bit of experience with them. I wanted to share with you guys my top 10 for summer 2025. Let's go ahead and get into this video. Now, please keep in mind that this is just my personal opinion of what I feel is comfortable for my feet. Everybody's feet's going to be different. So what I think is comfortable, you guys might not like at all. And this is not to say that there's not other brands and other pairs that are comfortable as well that you should give a try, because honestly, most of this stuff is going to be pretty good for your feet. But there's a couple reasons why I chose the top 10 that I have. So if you guys are interested in purchasing any of the 10 that I'm going to be talking about in my video, I'll link them in the description of the video. If you guys use any of those links, it does give me a little bit of a kickback, and it directly supports my family and this channel when you guys do that. So I greatly appreciate it when you use those links. Also, the last disclaimer, some of these slides that you see right here in this pile are not current models. I'm going to be sticking to the top 10 current models so you can actually buy them if you're interested, because some of these ones are just dinosaurs. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. So the number 10 spot goes to the Crocs Mellow slides. Now this one does retail at $40. They have a couple different variations of these now, and this one was probably in my top 5 in the last year or so, but there's so many new slides that it's definitely worth noting that this has actually fallen into the number 10 spot. It's still a really comfortable slide though, lots of grip. You have that all foam upper and midsole construction. And as for sizing of these slides, this is going to be very subjective as well, because I'm kind of a half footer, so I'm a 9.5. So a lot of these, sometimes I go size 10, sometimes I go size 9, and it can really vary. In this case, I went with a size 9, and they do fit me a little bit too snug. I should go up to a size 10 in these. Personally, I think that would fit me a lot better, but they're overall very comfortable and waterproof as well. And crazy that this is just the number 10 spot. I actually like the look of them. They're fairly sleek also. The number 9 spot's going to go to a pair of slides that I don't actually have currently anymore, but this is the Ooahh slides from Oofos. This is a really comfortable pair overall. In my opinion, it's not a top 10 contender, but some other people, it could be the number 1 spot because it is a reputable brand for like a recovery slide. However, I felt that they were a little bit unstable the way that the heel like came together. But overall, it was a pretty comfortable experience on feet. I did get rid of my pair. I returned it because the Amazon pair just seemed super off. I need to go to Roadrunner and pick up another pair of the slides. Definitely a good one though, and even though I don't have a personal pair right now, I can say that they're a pretty comfortable pair and definitely one that I can see a lot of people thinking is the number 1 spot. But let's continue. Number 8 spot this time is going to go to the Hoka Ooahh recovery slides. This is the Ooahh 3s, I think they are. This is a really sleek, fun pair of slides as well. I think overall comfort is great. For a recovery slide, though, this one's a little bit dated, which is crazy to say because it is a little bit firmer than some of the competition that we have out here. Personally, I like a little bit of a softer feel underfoot, and this one, again, is a little bit firmer, but it does offer a nice amount of stability, and the overall fit is pretty good as well. I went with a size 10, normally, again, a 9.5, and that size 10 was the right choice for myself. There's a decent amount of traction on the bottom as well, and I really do like these all foam slides with the foam covers on them as well. It obviously makes it a little bit easier for the pools and stuff, and when you get them wet, it doesn't soak any sort of materials. I like the extra ventilation holes across the straps as well, and the overall midsole design is pretty nice. These ones are a little bit more expensive though at $60, so consider that, but definitely a top 5 contender in the past, now fallen into the 8 spot. All right, so moving into the number 7 spot, we have a pair of Reeboks, and this is the Reebok DMX recovery slides. These are only $30, which is actually pretty impressive. I did get the wrong size. I got a size 9. I should have got a size 10. These ones do fit me a little bit snug, but honestly, pretty decent what you get for these. Now, they kind of remind you of another pair that I'll show you guys later in the countdown. But you can see all the horizontal lines all over the slides make these look pretty cool. You also have a full rubber outsole, which is a nice plus. But then you have this midsole foam that's actually really nice and soft as well. If I actually got the right size in these, it might actually be higher on my countdown, but it does have the dynamic air cushioning, it says, in the midsole. Overall, really nice, very comfortable feel, and you have a little bit of dots on the bottom as well for just a little bit of a sensation there. I could do a detailed review on these. I didn't actually end up doing one by themselves, but maybe I'll do one in a little bit. The only thing is it does have a little bit of a rounded heel, so maybe a little bit of a stability issue down here, but I didn't find anything too outrageous. But you do have more traction on these than most of the slides out here, so definitely nice for those people looking. A really nice solid contender, number 7 spot. Number 6 spot goes to the adidas adissage 360 Rex. This is not one that I would have anticipated making this list. I just got these actually the week before, and it's one that I keep coming back to because I'm like, dude, they actually feel pretty good on feet. $35 on Adidas site. Again, size 10 fits me, normally 9.5. You do have an adjustable strap on these, which makes it really nice for those people that have a little bit of a wider foot. I always like the extra room on the top of my foot personally, but the massage balls on the midsole, actually, I don't love the look of them, but they actually feel really good on feet. I don't think, again, it's the most attractive looking slide. In fact, it might be the opposite. It might be the ugliest slide on this countdown, in my opinion, but you kind of forgive it when you put them on feet and you're like, ah, this is kind of different. And because of its unique feeling on feet, like I really like it. It does have cloud foam in this midsole, so it is fairly soft as well. But definitely one of the most surprising slides that I've tried on this year. And at $35 is not a bad price point to give them a shot. Again, with the adjustable strap and everything else. This is basically like the original adisages, like what I thought they were going to feel like, but this one actually feels really good. So I have a detailed review on this one if you guys are interested on my channel, but a really solid option for your feet. All right, so moving on to the number 5 spot, we have a pair of Pumas. This is an interesting one. This is the SOFTRIDE ZeroG. It retails at $45. And as for fit, I did get a size 10. I do have a lot of room in this one, so I probably could go with the size 9. It's just kind of an unfortunate thing because I really want a 9.5, but the size 10 fits me a little bit big. I know it looks very similar to this other brand out here, the Hoka pair, and it's kind of crazy that I would have the like knockoff sort of pair from Puma in a higher position than like the originator of the Hoka Ooahh V3s, but I will tell you that this SOFTRIDE in this midsole makes it softer, and so it's different, but it looks very similar to this shoe right here. It's a little bit wider, so I like having a wider pair for myself personally. If you have a wider foot, this is a really solid option, but it's wider and it is softer on feet, and because of that, I was like, dude, I really have to just make it in a higher spot, even though I really did like this one in the past. But overall, a pretty solid design and pretty comfortable. This also, by just visually looking at these side by side, it does have like the highest stack from the footbed. So you do sit up a little bit higher in these than some of the other ones, but there's not any stability issues that I found. Overall, I actually really like these. So surprising, but yeah, this is the number 5 spot. All right, so moving on to the number 4 spot, one of the fan favorites, I'm sure, for the year, we have the Nike ReactX Rejuvenate Slides. These retail at $60 and they are readily available, which is fun because the Croc version of these, the Rejuvenates, those ones like have sold out pretty well. But the slides actually look pretty cool and they look very similar to the Reebok pair. So that was one thing. I could do a direct comparison between these two if you guys would like. I could work on that video because of the horizontal like ribbing and design. It looks very similar. You do have a little bit of a higher stack on the ReactX Rejuvenates from Nike though, but this is like been one that I was like really thinking would do well this year. And it's fun to be able to see them available again to purchase if you guys are interested. Link in the description. The overall style I think looks really cool. It's nice to have a little jewel swoosh here on the side, and they do fit a little bit snug. So I went to a size 10. Normally I'm a 9.5 again. Size 10 was the right move. It does fit a little bit snug even at the 10, but definitely manageable. The only problem with this slide, in my opinion, is just the rounded sculpted nature of the heel. Feels a little bit unstable in the back. So for stability issues, if you don't want to have any of them, this is probably the one that I would stay away from because of that rounded nature. If you're walking around in them and stuff, and you don't have any problems with like overall balance and stability, then this won't be a problem. But comparative to like the Puma pair, it's way wider on the base. The Adidas pair is way flatter, so this one just has that sculpting that's a little bit too rounded. In my opinion, a little bit unstable, but that's the only reason why this is lower on the count end. If it didn't have the unstable feeling, it would probably be the number 2 spot. But really strong pair nonetheless, and again, probably a fan favorite across all these in general, just because it is a Nike with the ReactX, and it is, you know, the slide version and the Rejuvenates. Number 3 pair goes to the Crocs Echo Slides. This is still one of my fan favorites, even after all of the new pairs that have come out, primarily because of the dual density setup in here. You have the light ride and the footbed, which is very soft and feels really good. And then the other material that I always say Croc Slide, and apparently I'm saying it wrong, but that is the outer layer, and the foam is really durable. And because of that, it makes a really solid combination. Now, I don't love the look of this one. I'm waiting for them to make this version of a slide. Like the Echo Waves are amazing, but this is the clog. And I really want them to make a slide version like what Nike did with the ReactX. So Crocs, make it happen, man. Make it happen. It would look really cool. I think that the overall sculpting of this would be excellent in a slide version. Be better looking than these ones in my opinion. But because we don't have this version yet in something like the Echo Waves, we do have the original Echoes. And it's still like a fan favorite for myself. The fit is pretty good as well. I'm a size 9.5. I went with a size 10 in these. But it's definitely a crazy looking pair and not my favorite looking, but a top 3 contender just alone because of the comfort. So that being said, the number 3 spot. All right, so the number 2 spot goes to a really crazy pair, but one that I have grown to appreciate. It's not going to be for everybody though, just because of the overall fit, but this is the Adidas Infinity Slides. This is kind of a basketball slide. I love the like hypnotizing sole on the outside with all of the spears and stuff. And then you also have a radial pattern on the bottom of the footbed. But this foam is really, really soft. In general, I really dig it. The only downside is they're super wide. So for those people that have a really narrow foot, this is not going to be a very good option for you. In my opinion, you could always go with the other new pair from Adidas, and this is the Light Blaze Slides. You could actually adjust the strap in these to make them fit a little bit better for those people that are interested. But if you have a wider foot like myself, or you just like the extra breathing room, you wouldn't be able to wear like winter socks if you want and throw them in here. They fit really, really well. But I did go to a size 9 in these, not in a size 10. So the size 10 would be too big. The 9 was the better choice for somebody that's in between like myself. So I went down a half a size because of the width. Again, it's crazy. Super comfortable though, very, very soft. I know it's not everybody's favorite look either, but I like the 3 stripes on each side for ventilation. It's a clever looking pair, very comfortable overall though. But my number 2 spot personally for me, I really, really like these. Anyways, we made it to the number 1 spot. If you guys like the video, drop a like. If you have other suggestions for slides that didn't make the countdown, leave a comment in the comment section for me to try them. Maybe I have, maybe they weren't the right fit for me, or maybe I just haven't even tried them yet. So greatly appreciate those comments. I mean, as you can see, there's tons of runner-ups that could have made this list, like the 3D printed Actibreeze from ASICS. These are insane. One of my favorite looking slides and the craziest ones out there, but just not very accessible, but very soft on feet. And you'll have like 2 different versions of those. I even tried these Mellow slides out thinking they'd be okay, but they were just a little bit too firm and felt a little bit awkward. The classic Adidas adiLite slides are always a go. This should be in the number 10 spot, but honestly, there's just so many pairs out there that this one even fell off the list. But this is the classic staple for especially like around 20 bucks. You can get these on sale. Amazing pair. And even this pair from New Balance is a little bit outdated because they don't really make this one very much either. And that brings me to the number 1 pair because they are making this one right now. And this is the New Balance Fresh Foam Recovery Slides. Now these are super comfortable in my opinion. Again, very, very similar to the Adidas pair where they're wider base. These retail at $45 and I went with a size 9. I could have gone with a size 10, but I actually like the fit of the 9 a little bit better because of the wide nature of these slides. They fit me just right, but they're very wide, very soft on feet. Again, with the Fresh Foam, you have extra little traction patterns on the bottom. I think the slides look really good as well with the ends integrated on the sides, but overall, I was really, really impressed. Now, if this pair is a little too wide for you, you could always go with the New Balance 200 XLs. Those are pretty nice. I also have a review on those, but this is a pair that I've been going back to over and over and over again. I like the little nibs on the bottom of the slides. They actually feel really good there as well. They're fairly stylish. They are just a little bit wide, maybe for some people, but for me, it's like the perfect blend. And the fit and feel of these ones are super soft and very, very comfortable. And it's crazy to see the evolution between even their last version of slides like these that have the Fresh Foam in them versus this one. Like this is super soft comparison to this pair. The width and stuff is great, and just the overall feel, in my opinion, was the W, and the reason why I keep going back to these ones. Now, again, they're $45. I've seen them go on sale for a little bit here and there over on New Balance, but I'll link them in the description if you're interested, as well as the rest of these to the respective sites. But what do you guys think about my list? I know it's not going to be for everybody, but this is just my personal thoughts, my personal feet. Everybody has different feet, but leave a comment, let me know what your favorite slides are, maybe top 2, top 3 that you've tried. And give me suggestions for some other ones as well. Because again, there's no real wrong answers. It's whatever works for you, whatever you find comfortable, whether it's like a really hard pair of like Birkenstocks or something like that, or something soft and squishy like what I get in my New Balance recoveries. But anyway, have a good rest of the day. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and hopefully I'll see you back on the channel for some more sneaker content. All right, peace guys.